Hey guys, Aarush here from 𝗧𝗲𝗃 and today we are going to teach you how to solve the Rubik's Cube. But before we begin, we have to teach you the simplest steps of the Rubik's Cube, which is the cube notations. Because we can't always say R up and U left, so we make it simpler by saying R and U. And now we're going to teach you the basic cube notations to learn for the beginner method. So now I'm going to give you a brief introduction to cube notations so that it's easier for you to learn about cube notations when 𝗧𝗲𝗃𝗱, my team member, is teaching you the cube notations to solve the Rubik's Cube. So over here we have the Rubik's Cube, and since it's a 3x3, there's comparatively less notations and it's easy to learn them because suppose the right move, it's denoted by R. So if I do R, you can understand that, and then this is U. And the simplest way to remember what R is it's always in the clockwise direction. So this is in the clockwise direction, and if I say prime, which is with an apostrophe, it's in the anti-clockwise direction. So this is R and this is R prime. So if someone says R, U, R prime, U prime, that means R in clockwise, U in clockwise, R prime is anti-clockwise and U prime is also anti-clockwise. So in that way it's easier for you to learn these notations. So without further ado, I'll let my team member 𝗧𝗃𝗯𝗿 teach you the rest of the notations.
Let's start off with the most common cube notation, that's R. So it's basically turning the right layer either upwards or downwards. R is upwards and R prime is downwards. And the next one is L, which is basically moving the left layer downwards. And L prime is upwards. And the next one is U, which is really simple and easy. So U is moving the top layer right or left. Moving it towards this way is U, and the opposite is U prime. Another pretty common one is F, which is basically moving the front layer clockwise or anti-clockwise. So clockwise is F and anti-clockwise is F prime. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is D, which is moving the bottom layer towards the right or left. So towards the right is D and towards the left is D prime. And the last common cube notation is M or M prime. That is basically moving the middle layer up or down. So moving the middle layer down is M, and moving it up is M prime. Before going into the beginner's method, I have two algs for you to practice. The first one is the most common and simple one. R, U, R prime, U prime. R, U, R prime, U prime. R, U, R prime, U prime. Practice this for some time. And the second one is F, R, U prime, R prime. F, R, U prime, R prime. F, R, U prime, R prime. Practice these both algs for some time, then start learning the beginner's method.
So now that you've learned the basic cube notations such as R, but that's L, okay, R, U and the rest, it's time for you to learn about the beginner's method. So now I'm going to give you a brief introduction to what the beginner's method is and what it consists of. So the beginner method consists of the first layer, which is this completely solved, and it consists of the second layer, which is all the edge pieces solved, and it consists of OLL, or orientation of the last layer, which means the yellow is completely solved. And last but not the least is PLL, which leads to the whole cube being solved. So PLL means permutation of the last layer, and it's basically solving the last edge pieces and the corner pieces. So that's the introduction to the beginner's method. There will be a link in the description and a card above my head somewhere teaching you how to do the cross and the first layer using the beginner's method. So make sure to check that out, and that's it for now. Bye.